A lot of scores to go over, so I'll let you get right to it.
All right, thanks, John. Through 8 games this year, the girls' soccer team is an impressive 7-0-1, and they recorded 2 more shutouts this week. 5 of the girls' 7 wins have been shutouts, and they've still only allowed 2 goals so far this season. For 3 of 4 games this week, their offense was surging, but for all 4, the defense was smothering. And the girls won their home game against Saugus 7-1 early in the week. 2 days later, putting in some work on the weekend, the girls played and shut out North Andover in some Saturday morning soccer. And then the girls faced their first real test of the season. And if the rivalry has been down the last few years between the Magicians and the Big Blue, it's back in both girls and boys soccer. The Swampscott defense silenced the Magician offense like a crowd unimpressed with the main act. But the Magician defense wouldn't budge either, and the game ended in a 0-0 tie. Now the 2 teams face off again in the regular season finale on Halloween night at Piper Field, which will be a lot of fun in general, but with possibly a conference championship on the line, it'll just make it twice as sweet. And then in their final match of the week, the girls got the offense rolling once again, and the defense was also incredible again, and the Lady Patriots laid a goose egg in an 8-0 poaching. Now, Coach Scott Laramie believes that the next 2 weeks of the season are going to be the toughest for the now 5-3 boys soccer team. The boys came into the week 4-1 and had recorded 4 consecutive shutouts against 4 of the more fluff teams in the NEC in Salem, Gloucester, Winthrop, and Saugus. But now the schedule turns around for the guys, and they play the bigger, stronger soccer schools like the Swamp and the Boys Revere team, who, unlike their girls program, are very good. Now, the boys started their week with their 5th straight victory over that weak Saugus team. The Magicians led 5-0 after the first 10 minutes, so Coach Laramie pulled his starters, and MHS was still able to finish out the shutout. So after the 25-1 goals 4-2 against stretch in their 5-game shutout win streak, Coach Laramie called it right. Swampscott gave Marblehead a taste of their own medicine and shut out the Magicians for 80 minutes of soccer in a 1-0 road win. The only goal right here, a real tough angle, a snipe shot by Joe Carbone from Swampscott, was the difference maker. Goalkeeper Joe Ferrucci, who made a ton of saves and was just one night away from a perfect night, was named Marblehead Fitness Center Player of the Game. And despite the loss and only 1 goal scored, the game was hard-fought and entertaining, so I hope you will tune in when we show it here on MHTV on Monday, October 3rd at 7:30, and then again Saturday, October 8th at 1 p.m., brought to you by our community partner, National Grand Bank. And unfortunately, the Magicians really fared no better a few nights later. They also dropped their game at Revere 2-1. Lucas Copperman scored the only goal against the Patriots. And now, even though most of the golfers are playing well, the golf team is still struggling to find a way to win. They're still under 500 at 3-4 through 7 matches. And they hit the links 3 times this week, losing to Gloucester 42-30, beating Winthrop 45-27, and then they split a 3-way match by beating Salem 39.5-32.5, but lost to the Big Blue 44-28. A tough start for all the fall sports against the Big Blue so far, 2016. I think the volleyball team is the only team that's got a win against them right now. But from an old rivalry that isn't going so well to a new one that might have the tides change into Marblehead's favor, it was the Magicians who came out on top of the Danvers Falcons Friday night 30-23 in a rematch of last year's Division III Northeast Final that ended Marblehead football's dream season. And oh, the guys were fired up for this one, and they were not to be beaten again by another really good Danvers team. It was a big Drew Galley 63-yard touchdown pass to Manning Sears and a returned punt block by Justin Faya 29 yards for a touchdown that gave the Magicians the momentum they needed to pick up the road win over the Falcons. Harry Craig also had a 14-yard reception and a touchdown, or 14-yard reception for a touchdown, and Jason Lopez plowed in from the 1-yard line. The Magicians are 3-0 and looking really strong. Now, the girls' teams are kind of running the show this fall so far. The field hockey team's season is going almost identical to the girls' soccer season, whereas the girls' soccer season almost identical to field hockey. Either way, the field hockey team's also unbeaten. They also have only allowed 2 goals all season, but they also picked up their first tie of the season this week. They're 8-0-1, and this week they didn't have as easy time with Saugus as some of our other teams did. It was Mariah Elder who was the hero. She scored the only goal of the game in a 1-0 win. And then the girls tied Gloucester 1-1. Hadley Carlton put in the MHS goal in the tie. And another girls team that's crushing it right now and has been for 3 seasons are the still undefeated volleyball team. They handled Revere 3-0 behind 17 Jenny Norcross kills and 11 Riley O'Grady assists. And then those two did it again a few nights later, Jenny Norcross had another 12 kills, and O'Grady had another 15 assists in a 3-0 win over the Beverly Panthers. The boys cross-country team outran Lynn Classical and had the 7 top finishers, including Oliver Jacob, who finished first with a time of 18:01, Eric Larson, who finished second at 18:20, and Ian Struthers third at 18:23. And then the girls cross-country team, they got back on track this week by beating Classical by the same score, 15-50, and they also had the top 7 finishers in the race. Mia Forrester was first at 21:42, Lily Gillis finished second at 22:10, and Chrissy Twelfhoven finished third at 22:28. And that'll wrap things up for Headliner Sports today. All the girls teams are combined 24-1-1, so if you get a chance to go up and see either the soccer team, the field hockey team, or volleyball teams play, make sure you do, because it could be quite a memorable year for the girls' fall sports program, so make sure you're a part of it. I'm Jess Burton. Thanks for watching today. John?
All right, so it's Swampscott giving us problems this week.
Yeah, usually sometimes Beverly, sometimes Gloucester. Big Blue this week.
Swampscott. That concludes this week's Headliner. I'm John Caswell. On behalf of the entire news team here at MHTV, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.